Hello guys and welcome back to another class of our course about the complete introduction to Photoshop. So in today's class we are still going to talk about colors, and as you can see we are going to use the same picture that we used in the past class. So basically, as you can see, this is just our basic picture that we have modified by using the curves tool. Basically what we are going to talk about today will be the curve tool and also the color balance, because both of them are pretty well, works pretty much not the same way, but they work together, we can say it this way. So what's gonna happen in this class is that we are going to learn how to use the curve tool in a more advanced way, as well as the color balance tool, how to balance colors and stuff. And in the next class we are going to practice everything on some different pictures. So let's start. All right, so basically right here you have your curve tool. Well, we have our picture right there that we are working with, which is a smart object. And here we have our curve tool. So basically the curve tool is based on 4 colors. So we have the red, the green, as well as the blue. So when you start, and first of all, when you have took your picture, you have applied well, let's say you have applied the auto right here, so the auto coloration of the picture. So basically all the colors goes automatically, and you are still not satisfied with the picture. What you can do is you can work with each of those colors separately. And how exactly does this work? So to explain you how this works, we are going to use another tool that is called the color balance, and it's pretty much right here. So as I said, the curve tool will allow you to work with the red, the green, as well as the blue. And pretty much it works the same way with the color balance. So let's say you take this picture right here and you decide to work with the red color. So you say that, oh, there is not enough red color inside of your picture. So what you can do is that you can grow the red, well, the red coloration inside of your picture. So once again, if you grow the red coloration, the picture will become more red. But if you make the red coloration smaller, so basically you reduce the red coloration, what's gonna happen is that your color will go to the cyan. So how exactly do I know this? It's pretty simple, it's just right here. So basically more red means less cyan, and more cyan means less red. So basically if you wanna take away the red, you will have more cyan, and if you want to take away the cyan, you will have more red. Basically this is how it works. So to grow the red coloration, you will reduce the cyan coloration, and to reduce the cyan coloration, you will grow the red coloration. So this is pretty much how it works. So let me just come back right here. So what you can do right now is the moment that you have that you have worked with your picture, you can work with the color balance of your picture. So here you can decide if you want to make your picture more let's say we can say it this way, more hot or more cold. So basically if you use cold colors such as, for example, cyan, or for example purple, or for example blue, so those colors are pretty cold colors. So basically you can give a certain effect to your picture. Your picture will look more cool. So let's say, for example, we are working with this picture right here and we want to make it more cool. So how exactly can I make this picture so it looks more cool? So it's pretty simple. Right here I'm gonna simply tend to this color. Instead of tending to the red, I'm gonna tend my picture to the cyan. So I'll go right here, so I'll go back to my picture right there, and I can go back to my red and simply reduce the red coloration. So automatically it becomes a little bit more cyan, more blue. So we can see that in the picture, the picture looks more cool. So basically it looks more cool. Same thing for the green. So basically if we reduce the green coloration, this is exactly what's gonna happen. So the picture will tend more to the, well, in this case, the purple. So as you can see, we can make the picture more dark, more cold. If you wanna make the picture more hot, we can simply put it a little bit higher. So you'll see the picture will look more hot. Once again, if you make it too much green, it's not gonna be beautiful. You want to have a certain balance between your colors. Another way that you guys can do so here I don't like it that much, so we can keep it like this, because once again this is an autumn picture in my opinion, and it has a certain style, so I prefer it like this. If I want to make it more let's say hot, what I can do is simply increase the red coloration inside of the picture. And once again, I'll just have to play with it, and it will look a little bit more hot. So if I make it like this, once again, I don't want to make it too much red because, well, it won't make sense. But if you want to make something that makes more sense, you can just increase the red coloration inside of your picture. Another way to do it will be by playing with the color balance. So once again, it works pretty much the same way. You can increase the red coloration inside of your picture, reduce it right here. Same thing for the magenta, for the cyan coloration, you can reduce it right here. But as you can see, it will, well, it's not gonna work the same way as on the curves part right here. As you can see, I personally prefer working on the curves, but you can work both on, well, on the color balance as well as on the curves, basically to modify your picture. So as you can see right here, we can add a little bit more green, so the picture will become more, let's say, hot. So if we can relate it to real life, we can say, for example, we can make this picture look like it's, for example, summer, or it's, for example, let's say end of autumn. So we can make it work in both ways. So here, for example, it's more, in my opinion, it's a summer effect. But if we reduce, for example, the green part of the picture, well, if we reduce the green a little bit, put more cyan, the picture becomes more dark, it becomes more cold. So basically right here, it could be a more, in this case, more autumn picture. So less yellow, more blue. So it looks more cold automatically because there is more blue, there is more, well, the water is a little bit more dark. So this is how basically you can work with your pictures. Well, work with colorations in a more advanced way. And here you will play directly on the color balance of the picture. So in the past class, we talked about playing with the red, well, talked about playing with the white, finding the white, the black, and the gray inside of the picture. Right now, when all this is done and all, well, you have everything you need, you can play with the coloration of your pictures right here. So basically with the red, green, or blue, and you decide which one you want to play with. So as you can see, it's pretty cool. And finally, when you're done with this, you can simply play with your color balance. Once again, if you can do this on the background of the picture, you can modify the picture. You can modify one of the layers. So I explained during the past classes how to modify only one layer. And basically, you can add this layer later to your picture, and it's gonna work just fine. So right now you know how to modify, well, right now you know how to work with curves in a more advanced way, as well as with the color balance. So that's it for this class, guys, and see you all in our next class.